guys, this is Mason Roark here today with a fishing video, and today I want to talk about flipping and pitching. Flipping and pitching is probably one of the most used techniques in the pre-spawn and in the spawn fishing times. In those times, the bass are basically finding their spawning beds and getting ready to spawn, and when they are spawning, they're real close to the cover or real close to those banks. A lot of times you can sight fish, but you don't want to make a long cast or cast and spook them. So you want to get that bait and throw it in there and accurately, get those bass. Anyways, when you're flipping and pitching, you want your tackle to be, your rods preferably, you want them to be pretty stout rods and a firm backbone so you can pull those fish out of that cover sometimes. And you want your rods to be pretty tall too, because the bigger rods, you can accurately get that bait farther and a lot farther and I guess more accurate. I have like 6 or 7 flipping rods total, but I only really have 3 that I use mainly. And my first one I have it's not really a big rod. This one's mainly just for hitting those smaller points, more open cover, like cypress tree lakes. I'll throw this one a lot. And this rod is a Quantum IM6, 6'6", medium heavy. Now, a lot of people think I'm crazy for throwing a 6'6", but I actually I really had a lot of productive fishing and adventures with this thing. And this rod's, it's not really made to flip, and it's more of, getting that bait out there and casting. But I'm here to tell you, it can flip too. 6'6" can flip. I wouldn't really suggest it mainly because it's not the strongest rod to set that hook a lot of times, but I don't really use this for flipping a lot of cover, but I use this for flipping cypress and tree lakes and stuff like that. And my reel I have is a Quantum 200C. It's a little bit of an older setup, but I still love it. And the line I usually have, 17-pound test monofilament line on here. I believe it is Trilene. On this one, it actually had Trilene. And I throw, usually with this one, I throw soft plastics or jigs on that one. It's really mainly what people flip, but that's that rod. And basically my favorite flipping and pitching rod I had is my 7-foot heavy Veritas. I've used this rod many times. This rod I have is it's probably, if I were to recommend any rod or anyone can get on the market, it'd probably be a Veritas. You need to have one of these for any fishing. But on this rod I've got like I said, it's a 7-foot heavy. It's got that nice. It's got a real strong backbone. It's just got a lot of features. It's got those smaller eye holes for a little bit more accuracy. And the reel I've got on here is a Pro Qualifier, Bass Pro Shop Pro Qualifier. The gear ratio is, I believe, 6.6 to 1. And also on this rod, when you're with this reel, I've taken out the I don't want to do it now, but I've taken out this thing and I've reduced the amount of braking on the inside on that internal braking system, the manual braking system, and I usually keep the magnetic brake system low, like on 2 or 0. And this rod I mainly throw this one when I'm fishing heavier cover, like I'm fishing places that have a lot of tree stumps that are clumped together, not really cypress trees, but like oak kind of trees, or smaller ones that are real hard to pull them out of there. Fishing grass, fishing docks. It's a real accurate. I can get this. I can throw this one. This is a very accurate rod too to throw. Um, and also, with this rod, one thing I have the line I have on here. I have 15 pound test. I went with a lighter line test for this one. I don't know why. I probably should switch it over to 20 or 17 pound test. And I have fluorocarbon, Stren fluorocarbon on here, 20 pound test. This is, the reason I have 15 pound test is because earlier in the winter I was throwing a crankbait and I used this rod just because, I felt like throwing it. That's one of my rods. And, go ahead and get this other one out of the boat. Last but not least, I have my Berkeley lightning rod. Now, a lot of people really down this rod, but I've had this rod for a year, and I've caught many bass on this rod. And this rod it's a 7-foot medium heavy. It's got a lot of neat features. But the one thing I really like about it is it's a thick rod. It's got these two, my Veritas and this one, they're the same width, and this one's a heavy. But it's a very sturdy backbone for pulling those bass out of those stumps. And this I have on here. I've got a Fluger Asparo reel. Got this one at Academy for $100. It's a 6.6 to 1 gear ratio, and I did the same thing I did with Pro Qualifier. I lowered the gear ratio. The braking systems. And but the neat thing about this rod is like I said, it's a real strong rod, and I've caught many bass on here, and I've thrown them. And this rod I pull a lot of big fish out of the cover, and I throw this one like the same situations I throw with my Veritas. And this reel I have on here is, it's a good, it's a good reel. It's not as good as my Pro Qualifiers or like on my other rods. I have a Johnny Morris, but that's put up, and I don't really feel like getting it down because I don't really use it as much as I use these three. In the line I've got on here, I've got 20 pound test, Bass Pro Shops, XPS monofilament. Because this is the only thing I throw, or the only thing I do with this rod is flipping and pitching. And I've got a Bass Pro Shops XPS finesse jig on here. That's really it for my flipping and pitching rods and reels setup. Like I said, it's a very productive technique when you're trying to hit that cover and you can't throw a cast, or you can't, overhead or sideways throw just because there's so much cover, or you don't want to spook the fish. That's about it, guys. Tune in next time for I will demonstrate my lure setup for flipping and pitching. And that's it.